Hello there, my beautiful Aries signs. This is Rachel with Dark Knight Coaching. So today's video is a traditional Celtic cross spread where I pull a bunch of oracle cards for you as well. So the first message that I get when meditating is usually done through music. So the song that I was guided to listen to today was called Running by NF. N as in Nancy, F as in Frank. And Frank Sinatra might be significant for you, or Nancy. Isn't Nancy Sinatra a singer as well? So those things might be significant messages or just synchronicities for you. But the lyrics of that song were very much so a heartbreaking situation tied to having to leave a relationship that was not serving you or helping you align to your highest best self. Now, sometimes we have soulmates that come into our lives that aren't, I don't want to say they're not romantic, but they aren't meant to last forever because they are meant to be karmic lessons for us to learn so we can elevate and shift out of those things. And I think that probably is what has happened to you, Aries, or, maybe you're still in the process of choosing. But there's a heavy energy, but there's a lot of good things to come from this shift and this change. Now, let's dive right in. So the first card I have for you is the Two of Pentacles. This is about juggling and balancing something, finding a harmony if you can. Sometimes that's hard to do when we're in a mindset or a place of chaos and conflict. The challenge and what's crossing you at this time in the Celtic cross spread is the Nine of Swords. This is anxiety, sleepless nights, trapped in your thoughts, insomnia, not feeling sure that you're making the right decision, but I feel like in your gut instinct, this is the right choice to make. There is a victory here or something to celebrate, even though it may not feel that way. Like, you don't feel like celebrating. You don't feel victorious. It feels like a lot of hard work. It feels like a lot of effort, and you're not sure if it's worth it. And that's what the past shows here. So you have the Seven of Pentacles. Like, is this going to be worth it? All of the time that I'm spending on this relationship or being with this person, everything I've invested, if I leave and I go, I just give it all up. But, sometimes you have to kind of, I have a lot of analogies running in my head. Sometimes the best choice or the only choice that's truly left is that's to walk away. It's like you're ripping off the Band-Aid. And whatever choice you're making, I do feel like you're making a choice because you have the Chariot card here. This is about a fast-moving energy. It can be about long distance or travel as well. But I feel like in this instance, it's kind of like the black or the white decision. And, not everything is always black and white. There is a gray area, situationally dependent on that. But I feel like in the near future, you have regret and remorse when it comes to some sort of family situation. It can be a love interest. It could be just a family member that you're dealing with that you've had to let go of and release, or maybe even somebody who was a friend that felt like family, because it wasn't serving you. It wasn't aligning you. And in your subconscious energy, you have the Devil card here, and right below that is the Judgment card. So this to me just tells me like you felt like there was no other choice than to make the choice that you're making. And in life, sometimes when we let go of someone we love or care about, the best thing we can do is, like, if we love someone, set them free, because otherwise we get dragged down with them. And that's what that song is about as well. So you might want to check out those lyrics. But what's in your power and what's in your control right now is the Queen of Pentacles energy. So maybe you're being a bit reserved. You're trying to stay like responsive instead of reactive. Like being cool, calm, and collected is going to be a good thing for you. And then how do people see you? They see you as being deceived and betrayed. Hopefully they don't see you as the deceiver or the betrayer, which I don't think you are, because otherwise you probably wouldn't be watching this video trying to self-help. But I feel like people know you've been through quite a bit, and they do see that. It does show up. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the Ace of Swords. Maybe there's a part of your truth that will never be spoken, or people won't believe you if you say something negative about a family member or an ex-partner or an ex-friend. So your hopes and your fears are like, maybe the truth will set you free. And at some point in time, I do believe it will here, Aries, but I don't know the timing on this. I'm not getting a clear timing. Sometimes when we have truth that we hold on to and we tell someone, they don't always believe us. And there's nothing you can do about it. Like that's it. There's nothing you can do other than the truth, and that's it. That has to be enough sometimes to just carry you. Now, in the potential outcome, you have the Knight of Pentacles. This can be throwing yourself into work or something like that. This can also be just being happily independent and single and taking care of yourself, practicing self-worth, self-love, self-care. But, use that as it resonates. But I do feel like money is important at this time. Trying to set yourself up for success is important at this time. And knowing that you do deserve success, because that was the first oracle card that came out. I deserve success. So let's dive into the oracle, Aries, since I'm already going there. But make sure you smash this like button if it resonates and it helps my channel grow. I greatly appreciate it. And if you feel guided, you can book a one-on-one coaching session on my website as well. Now, you have the soulmate card. Now, penguins usually mate for life. Unfortunately, we're not penguins. But this soulmate card, it isn't always a happy ending. We are divinely guided to certain people that do break our hearts for purpose. And there's purpose to the pain. Sometimes it takes a long time to find that, but I do feel like you're getting to that point because you have the crone here. And I just had this card the other day for, who was it? I want to say Scorpio possibly. So something about Judaism. I don't know if I said that right. Judaism might be significant because of the star, the Star of David there. And then the crone energy is tied to Maiden Mother Crone. That is the cycle of three. That is the Trinity. That is the Triskelion. That is the Triquetra. That is Father, Son, Holy Ghost. That is life, death, and rebirth. That is what happens when we go through a dark night of the soul or an ego death. We go through these processes, these cycles of, Maiden Mother Crone. And when you're the crone, you're the wise old witch, basically. And you've been able to alchemize and transmute your emotions and your feelings. And that's when you become a true ascended master, a true spiritual guide, a true earth angel, when you can really tap into that energy. Now, you also have eye, which means to me, maybe your third eye has recently activated or you're having third eye activation symptoms currently, or if not, you will be. So when your third eye activates, it is tied to your pineal gland, which is a crystal and structure inside of your brain. You can cleanse that using hatha breathing techniques. What else? There's a couple different things, that you can do. But make sure you go check out my video on third eye chakras, and you can figure out how you can cleanse that as well. So eyes are the windows of the soul. Sometimes when we have people in our lives, and if we have access to our paranormal gifts, sometimes if we stare into their eyes for a prolonged period of time, like via meditation or something, sometimes we're able to see our own Akashic records with that person or with those people, and we can reflect on our soul's journey with them from before, because most of the time we've been with the same souls over and over again. Now, you also have Miracle. Sorry, it's hard to see because of the glare. That's still just hard to see. It's basically a fire. But Miracle is tied to your solar plexus, which is tied to your willpower or your sense of self. It's kind of like right below your heart space. Now, the miracle sometimes is enlightenment, even though it feels like a curse. It's a blessing and a curse, all wrapped in one. And when we go through those things, it can feel very hard, and it's very hard to see what the miracle is. But it's the clarity that comes in knowing how to love yourself, how to know thyself, how to love other people, and to do that. And it is a very bittersweet gift, not for the weak, for sure. Now, the ACT card I have for you is use your intuition to back up your logic. Are there two distinct and equally attractive pathways you face? Sit and consider where you feel and where your gut leads you. So I feel like this is that Chariot card. If you have a choice to make, what is your gut saying? If you've been stuck in a pattern of cycle of repeat, typically that doesn't change until you change something about yourself. I've had many friends who were like, oh, I'm just stuck in this relationship. I don't know how to get out of it. I don't know what to do. I can't do anything differently. And, I give as much guidance and advice that's warranted, but I cannot tell them what to do. And that's the first thing I tell them is like, hey, I can't tell you what to do, but if you're not happy with something, you got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to do something different. Otherwise, you're just going to keep repeating old patterns. So that's the advice here, is your north node. So make sure you check that out. And then I believe your south node, wherever your south node is in your chart, that's tied to your karma. So you might want to do some research on that. I'm not like the best astrologer, but there is a lot of karma tied to that. And if you're looking for a good book to figure out like what's your life lessons, why am I here, why am I doing this, what's the whole point, what's my whole purpose, there's a book called The Gene Keys by Richard Rudd. That can be very helpful. It's not going to give you every single answer, because I have yet to find every single answer, but it can be helpful in breaking down your astrological chart and tying that with the time of year you were born and the purpose in your life. Some of it, not all of it. Now you have individuality. It says you leave your unique stamp of love on everything you do. And then the last card I have for you here, Aries, is the number 31 from the I Ching. Now the I Ching is tied to the Tao, which is basically tied to that Gene Keys book that I was talking about by Richard Rudd. So you can go to the website for the Gene Keys. This is my own shameless plug. Like, I don't get any commission or anything from this. This is just my recommendation personally of what I've read about my own Gene Keys. But the Tao is another different I don't know what to call it, rabbit hole you could dive into if you're really interested in learning a bunch of cool stuff. But number 31 might be significant. It says influence. It says influence is what moves us, whether that's emotions, inspirations, physically, or visiting spirits. So study the power of influence by creating a place in your life and containing it. Good fortune comes from a more feminine way of relating, being open and allowing space for new influences. So what influence is active, and what does it draw you toward, and what is its place in your life? And I feel like that's tied to this step out of your comfort zone, Aries. So pick up a new hobby, maybe go find some friends that are like-minded, or be an understudy for something is what I'm hearing. So that might be helpful, or a way to try to kind of like get in the network of people who do what you would like to do. Or maybe even just call places and ask if you can just shadow for a day, whatever field that is. But that might be an interesting way to kind of get into that network. So hopefully this video helped, Aries. If it did, please smash the like button. It was kind of a short, sweet one today, but I feel like that's all it's needed. So yeah, take care, and I will see you next time.